Basically, I guess Trailblazer, I never thought of myself as one, but I was a woman uh, in a field that was all men early on. So I'd be at meetings where there were 600 men and me. Let's say I'm at the annual meeting of the Railroad Association of American Railroads. So there's 600 railroaders, men, and me. So I decided to wear red. Like if I'm going to be the only woman there, I'm going to stand out. And so I wore red, and so I skipped a session to do some business in my hotel room to make some calls. So like 500 of the 600 men said, "So you missed the last session." My major was semiotics, which, as I was saying, no one has ever heard of. And I think to this day, Brown is the only school university in the country that offers a degree in that. And I worked for some big newspapers, and I found out I didn't like the newspaper business. So I moved to Boston. I saw an ad in the Boston Sunday Globe for a trade magazine associate editor. And I was qualified. So I went there, and the trade magazine turned out to be called Traffic Management. So I went in and met the editor. He said, "Well, do you know what we do?" I said, no, I have no idea. Like stoplights at intersections? No. What we do is move stuff from point A to point B. And the stuff is everything you eat, everything you sit on, everything that's behind you in your house, behind me. We move stuff and we track it and we account for it, and we report on it and all that stuff. And so if people don't get what we move, in the worst case, people die. So if they don't get the medicines, they die. I said, "Oh, okay, that's I like that." He said, "You don't know anything about it. What's your favorite typeface?" So that was like a non sequitur. So I said, "Well, Garamond," and you have to be a nerd like me, coming from RISD. So he said, "That's mine too, you're hired." And they taught me. And so they showed me how, like, they blew up warehouses, they crushed boxes. I went all over to the testing centers, and I learned about forklifts and all that stuff. So I learned. So 11 years there, but I had also like built a network. I had joined associations. I had become officers in these professional groups. I had a network. When I got laid off, it was like the best thing that ever happened to me, because it freed me up to do anything I wanted. So rather than being like, "Oh no, I've been laid off, what do I do?" I had a network that said, "You can do anything you want." So I became a professor, a consultant, I've written 3 books. I have 2 research appointments to the University of Maryland. So I became anything I wanted to. I was in a good place because I was an early a woman in a man's field, but I never joined women's groups. I always said I'm going to compete on the same level that the men do. If I'm going to succeed, that's the level. Like if I had a message for women, you compete as a competitor, not as a woman or as a thing, but compete, And so, yeah, I had to do better. But it worked out.